friends, we'll be off to new adventures you will see. Off to the center of the earth or the bottom of the sea, so come with me. To the center of the earth, where life has started first, so many things for us to learn. Solve the major mysteries that lie so deep within our precious world. On the bottom of the sea, we're down so many leagues, just to find the proof we need. And the center of the earth, the center of the earth.
Travel is what we like to do.
Our adventures old and new,
They keep us strong.
why don't you help us set our sails? We'll discover many trails, so come along.
We got Don
And Tico too.
with Romy and new friends for you.
Join me along with all my friends on a trip that never ends to many places old and new. To the center of the earth, where life is starting first, so many things for us to learn. Solve the major mysteries that lie so deep within our precious world. And the center of the earth, the bottom of the sea, the center of the earth, you gotta come with me.
Episode 2. Off to Iceland.
Our peaceful life in London was disturbed by the arrival of Professor Lidenbrock with an ancient manuscript which my master, Monsieur Willy Fog, managed to decipher. Then our new adventure began. It would turn out to be even more dangerous than the one that took us around the world in 80 days. We were going to the center of the earth, and if we succeeded, my master would win his wager of £20,000 with Monsieur Sullivan. Before our journey could begin, Monsieur Willy Fog and Professor Lidenbrock spent the morning at the Science Museum carrying out some vital research. We were anxiously awaiting their return.
What can be keeping them, I wonder? And why are they taking so long about it all? Huh?
I can guess they have found out something. Some important piece of information that will convince them to attempt the journey to the center of the earth. I still think it's ridiculous. I firmly believe that no one can get to the center of the earth. It's impossible.
Well, when he puts his mind to it, nothing is impossible for Mr. Willy Fog. You see that poster for Singapore? Well, how many people do you know who have been there?
I don't know anyone who has been there.
What about Bombay?
I don't know anyone who has been there either.
And what about San Francisco, huh? Do you know anyone who's had a swim in the Pacific Ocean, Axel?
No, I'm afraid I don't.
You have never had a swim in the Pacific, Tico.
But I could have if I wanted to, Rigaton. We have traveled around the world, Axel, so I think that anything is possible.
I quite agree with you, Tico. And after so much traveling, I think we both deserve to have a nice, quiet life at home.
Yes, there is nowhere quite like home. I would love to be at home now with my dearest Gräuben. Since we have been in England, I have been missing her very much.
Try not to think about her so much, Axel. If you ask me, what you need now is an adventure, one that would cheer you up.
No, Tico, you're wrong. Without my beloved Gräuben by my side, I can never be truly happy.
He's Willy Fog, and with his friends he'll be off to new adventures you will see. Off to the center of the earth or the bottom of the sea, so come with me.
To the center of the earth, where life is starting first, so many things for us to learn. Solve the major mysteries that lie so deep within our precious world. On the bottom of the sea, we're down so many leagues, just to find the proof we need. And the center of the earth, the center of the earth. Travel is what we like to do. Our adventures old and new, they keep us strong. Why don't you help us set our sails?
of many trails, so come along. Rigadon and Tico too, with Romy and new friends for you. Join me along with all my friends on a trip that never ends to many places, old and new. To the center of the earth, where life is started first. So many...
I'm afraid to say the show's over, folks. Look, the bus is back.
There you are, my dear. What news? Have you discovered anything about the Icelandic explorer Arne Saknussemm?
Indeed we have, my dear Princess Romy. We have conclusive evidence. It is all true.
Then that must mean that...
There's been a new development, my dear Romy.
Your husband has accepted an incredible wager, the outcome of which will be of benefit to all of us.
I don't understand. What kind of wager? Would you mind explaining to me exactly what this is all about?
Someone at the Reform Club offered me a challenge, and I accepted.
The wager is £20,000.
£20,000? But, Willy, that's a fortune. If you lose the bet, it could ruin you, and your reputation would suffer. Why are you risking so much? Well?
It's not a question of money, my dear. You see?
I know it isn't, my dear. To you, honour and adventure are far more important. And I'm sure Professor Lidenbrock needs your assistance for a great journey that will undoubtedly benefit our knowledge of science. A challenge.
Yes.
You cannot refuse, can you?
He can't, especially not when the challenge comes from somebody as rude as that man Sullivan.
I know him, Professor Lidenbrock, and I know my husband. You can always rely on me to stand by you, Willy. I am prepared to go anywhere in the world with you. Just tell me where it is we're going.
Well, my dear, I appreciate that, but this journey will take us to the center of the Earth, and I think it would be safer if you were to remain here.
Whatever you say, my dear.
Hello. Hey, wee. Hey, Rigadon, what are you doing down there on the floor? Come on, let's go and hear Mr. Fogg's news.
Welcome back, Uncle. We must hurry and pack our bags, Axel. We are leaving immediately. Oh? Leaving? You mean it is time for us to leave London and go back home to Hamburg? Uncle Otto, is that what you are saying? Yes, Axel, we are off to Hamburg. Isn't it exciting? I am so pleased, Uncle. Rigadon, Tico, you hear that? We are going home. Not exactly. Not exactly. Are we going home or not, Uncle? Yes and no.
Allow me to explain, Axel. The reason that we are going to Hamburg is that we have to pick up the supplies and equipment we need for a much longer journey.
Our important expedition is now on. To the center of the Earth?
Oh, I was afraid that he was going to say that.
Hey, wait a minute. To the center of the Earth, you say? Well, if you ask me, that's not going on an adventure. That's just going too far.
Tico, don't get so excited. The journey will be very dangerous, so you and I will stay here and wait for the others to return.
There should be time to have a proper rest before we have to leave. Rigadon, make sure that the carriage is ready to leave at first light. The boat train leaves Victoria Station at 5:45 a.m. precisely. We must be on it. There. Now. Well, my dear, I think I've packed everything.
Not quite everything.
Let me see. Notebook, compass, extra shirts. Yes, that's everything.
What about these? I'm sure you'll need them.
Huh? My binoculars. My darling Romy, what would I do without you?
Oh, Willy, look. There's such a beautiful moon out tonight.
Yes, indeed. It's a clear night. That bodes well for our trip tomorrow.
The house will be terribly empty without you, Willy.
Please don't worry, my dear. It won't be for very long. I'll be back as soon as I can.
So on the 7th of June, 1863, our incredible adventure began.
Look, the carriage is here right on time. You'd better hurry everyone along, Rigadon. You cannot afford to miss your train. Huh? Hey, don't you start. Keep your horsehair on, will you? They're coming.
I wish I was staying at home with you, Tico. I've had quite enough adventures.
Well, I'd gladly swap places with you, Rigadon. I think I'm gonna go crazy being left behind, you know? Just crazy.
What are you talking about? You already are crazy.
Thank you so much for your hospitality, Princess.
You're welcome, Professor. I hope the trip is successful for you.
Now, don't you worry. I'm afraid it's time for us to say goodbye, my dear Romy.
Good luck, Willy.
This is not right. I should be going with you, Rigadon. After all, you're gonna need me to help you when you get into trouble.
Tico, Monsieur Fogg is our master, and he has asked you to stay at home, and so you must.
So you don't think I'm brave, huh? Everyone knows Tico is fearless, see?
That's exactly why I want you to stay at home and look after the princess, Tico. You're the best man for the job.
Okay, you're the boss, Mr. Fogg. I stay at home and guard the fort. But hey, don't forget to send me a postcard.
Come along, Tico.
We'll keep you informed of our journey, don't worry. Goodbye, my dear.
Bye.
Goodbye, Tico, mon ami. Look after the princess.
Now listen to me carefully, Transfer. I want no mistakes this time. Get on that train and make sure Willy Fog does not win the bet. I don't care how you do it.
Don't worry about a thing, boss. I'll make sure their expedition fails. You can count on it.
You'd better get on board. The train will soon be leaving.
Leave it to me.
You idiot, Transfer! You're going the wrong way! Transfer! They're up the other end of the train! You must stop them. Remember, we cannot fail. If I lose this bet, I'll be ruined. You hear?
I won't fail, boss. It will be my pleasure to put an end to Mr. Willy Fog once and for all. Just you wait and see.
Goodbye!
Goodbye, Lord Guinness.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye, Mr. Fog. The best of luck to you.
Thank you, Ralph. Goodbye.
Goodbye, my friends.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, London. I hope I see you again.
Good luck, everyone. Don't forget to report back with your progress. The readers at the Morning Chronicle will want to know all about your adventure.
Take care, my dear friends. We'll be waiting for you back at the Reform Club.
Yes. I'll be waiting, Willy Fog. I'll be waiting to collect the cash when you lose the bet.
You'll be the loser.
And so, gentlemen, our journey begins. We have just 70 days in which to find some conclusive evidence which proves that Arnie Saknussemm reached the center of the Earth.
If we don't, you will lose your 20,000 pounds.
Do not worry, Professor Lidenbrock. Monsieur Fogg knows exactly what he is doing. Impossible though it may seem, I'm sure we will all succeed on this journey.
It is impossible.
Huh?
Tickets, please.
Oh, I'd forgotten. Rigadon, you've got them.
Oh, but I do not understand, Monsieur Fogg. What is it I am supposed to have?
I must insist on seeing your tickets immediately, gentlemen.
Rigadon, our railway tickets. Kindly hand them over to the inspector at once.
Oh, mon Dieu, I do not have the tickets, Monsieur Fogg.
If you have no tickets, you'll have to get off at the next stop.
But you don't understand, Inspector. We are on our way to Iceland and we don't have a minute to lose.
Listen, I don't care if you're on your way to Timbuktu. Without your tickets, you'll have to get off the train.
I am sorry, Monsieur Fogg.
I think you're looking for these.
Oh, thank you, miss. All correct.
Hey! Is Princess Romy to you? Bet you're glad to see us.
A very good morning to you, gentlemen. Hello, Willy.
Well done, my dear. And you too, Tico. I don't know what we would have done without you.
We noticed that you'd left the tickets behind, and as I knew you wouldn't get very far without them, we had no choice but to follow you.
I'm glad you did.
I've taken the liberty of purchasing tickets for Tico and myself to Hamburg. We can then travel with you to Reykjavik, where we will stay until you return. I'm glad you forgot the tickets, Willy. I couldn't bear to be so far away from you.
I feel the same way, you know?
It's wonderful to see you both. If you hadn't come to our rescue, the expedition would have come to an untimely end at the next station.
Enjoy your journey.
We will, Inspector. You've no idea how important it is.
Well, I'd love to hear all about it, but I've got to go and check the other passengers' tickets.
Hello, Rigadon. It's nice to see you. London would be really boring without you, you know? And this adventure would not be so complete without yours truly. So what do you think about your friend Tico coming along, huh?
I am delighted that you are here, mon ami. This adventure would not be the same without you. I hope we have as much fun as we did last time. And so, with my good friend Tico and Princess Romy having joined our party, we continued with the journey. A ship took us across the English Channel, and then we boarded another train that would take us first to Brussels and then finally on to Hamburg.
And then, Professor, we get the boat across to Copenhagen and from there to Iceland.
If my calculations are correct and we have no delays, we should reach Hamburg by nightfall. Oh, Hamburg! I will soon be with Gräuben, my beloved.
Hey, Axel, this Gräuben sounds like a really nice girl. You must be in love, yes? Rigadon, don't you ever fall in love. It sends you crazy. Look what it's done to Axel.
Tico, love is wonderful. One day you'll find out for yourself. I hope.
Hey, Princess, you've given me a good idea. Maybe I should find myself a good-looking girlfriend. The Rigodon would have to stop following me around everywhere I go. Ha! It's okay, it's a joke.
I'm looking for Professor Lidenbrock. Which one of you gentlemen is the professor?
I am he. Professor Lidenbrock at your service, sir. Kindly tell me what it is you want.
There's a passenger in the end carriage who has asked me to inform you that he'd like to speak to you.
Who could it possibly be?
I have good reason to believe that you know him, sir. He says he's a French gemologist.
Geologist, my good fellow. Geologist. Well, that explains it. One of my old students must have seen me boarding the train, and I expect he wants to hear all about my latest research. It's always a pleasure talking to old students. I won't be long. Ah.
Look, Willy, the landscape is changing.
Hey!
I think we must be getting close to Hamburg by now. Come and sit beside me, Willy.
I can't look at the scenery just now, my dear. There's something bothering me.
What is the matter, Monsieur Fogg? What is it that is bothering you?
I want you to come down with me to the goods carriage, Rigodon, and help me to look for Professor Lidenbrock.
But the ticket inspector definitely said that the professor's guest was in a passenger carriage, sir.
That's what bothers me, Rigodon. When we boarded the train, I couldn't help noticing that the last carriage was a goods carriage, not a passenger carriage. Come on! I have a feeling that the professor could be in trouble. The ticket inspector was lying, and what we need to find out is why.
Yes, monsieur.
If you have any trouble and need some assistance, partner, just whistle and I will be there. You hear me?
Now jump! Ha! Jump over! Go on, be quick about it!
I don't understand. What are you talking about? Where is my student? I wish to return to my carriage, my good
No!
man.
Do as I say, Professor, or it'll be the last thing you ever do. Now, jump into the wagon! Go! Your journey ends here, Professor. Get back!
I don't know why you're kidnapping the professor, but you won't get away with it, my good fellow. Rigodon, tell the driver to stop this train, and hurry!
Oh, be careful, he has a sword.
Just tell the driver that he must stop this train, Rigodon. Don't worry about this ruffian, I can deal with him. I'm warning you for the last time. Stop that at once!
Goodbye, Mr. Fogg.
Take that! Don't worry, Professor.
He's going for the sword!
I'll get you for this, Willy Fog. You haven't seen the last of me.
You're quite safe now, Professor Lidenbrock. I learned the noble art of karate in the Far East, and I'm glad that I did.
Mr. Fogg, shouldn't we follow that ticket inspector and teach him a lesson?
That was no ticket inspector, Professor Lidenbrock, and whoever he was, I doubt that we'll see him again. Now then, let's get on with our journey, shall we? We've wasted quite enough time already.
Willy, are you all right?
Monsieur
That
Fogg.
dirty, rotten ticket inspector, if I was here, I would have taught him a lesson.
Oh, Willy, Professor, we were so worried about you. Who was that man, Willy, and what did he want with the professor?
It wouldn't surprise me if that scoundrel Sullivan had something to do with all this.
Let's get back on the train. There's still a long way to go to Hamburg. We must try to make up for lost time.
We'll meet again in Hamburg, Willy Fog. I'll stop you getting to the center of the earth if it's the last thing I do. That's a promise.
Gräuben! Hello, my dear Gräuben. I'm home at last.
Axel, my dear love, it's wonderful to have you home again.
I'm home, Gräuben.
Hello.
Huh? Hey, lover boy, I'm not carrying your bags for you.
Gräuben, allow me to introduce Princess Romy and Mr. Willy Fog. It was Mr. Fogg who deciphered the code. He found the clue that will lead them to the center of the earth, which will lead us, I meant to say.
Well, it is a great pleasure to meet you, Mr. Fogg, and also you too, Princess Romy.
You don't sound very enthusiastic about the journey, Axel. I just wish we could stay at home a bit longer. I don't want to force you into it, my dear nephew. After all, it will be a very dangerous journey. You may stay here if you wish.
It will be a great honor for you, Axel, to accompany your uncle and Mr. Fogg on the expedition, but But why do you have to go to the center of the Earth, Mr. Fogg?
I will gladly explain the circumstances of our expedition, my dear Gräuben. But first, I'm afraid we travellers need to rest before the next stage of our journey.
I will lead the way. There is still much to do. We must find a ship to take us to Copenhagen, buy supplies, plan our route, check the maps.
All in good time, Professor, all in good time. Our journey has only just begun. While you're checking that equipment, Brigadon, make sure the canteen doesn't leak. When we're underground, fresh water will be vital, you see?
At once, Monsieur Fogg, Tico fills his canteen and sees that no water is able to escape from it.
How come you are the one going on an adventure and it is me who is doing all the work around here? It's just not fair. But I suppose it's the least I can do for you, Rigadon. After all, I'm not the one who's going to be camping out in the cold, climbing down dangerous rocks, freezing to pieces.
There's the tea you asked for, Rigadon. I hope it's enough.
Thank you, Miss Gräuben. Tea is essential for Monsieur Fogg on any trip. He cannot do without it. Oh, mon Dieu, a journey to the center of the Earth without tea is quite unthinkable.
I have returned. Axel, Gräuben, come and listen to my news.
I'm quite sure I haven't overlooked anything, and if everything goes according to my calculations, then I shall easily win this bet.
Willy, darling, listen to what Professor Lidenbrock has to say.
I have spoken to the captain of a ship, and he has offered all of us passages aboard his vessel to Copenhagen. Our adventure continues.
That's marvellous news, Professor. The sooner we can get to Copenhagen, the sooner we can get to Reykjavik.
Well, we leave tomorrow, in the morning.
I have a question for you, Professor Lidenbrock. Who will teach your students while you are away?
Well, Gräuben will be teaching them in my absence.
Well, that's an awfully big responsibility for one person, Professor. I think Gräuben will probably need some help to run the classes. Wouldn't you agree, Willy?
I'm afraid my wife is right about this, Professor Lidenbrock. I think your nephew Axel should stay behind and help Gräuben.
Axel, I really don't know.
Oh, let him stay, Professor.
Perhaps it would be best.
No leaks anywhere. It's as dry as a bone. You're not leaving me here, Rigadon. I'm going as far as Reykjavik with you, remember?
Sure, you are coming with us. Happy now?
Axel, I agree with Mr. Fogg. You must stay here with Gräuben until I return. Oh, thank you, dear uncle. I will look after your students and, of course, Gräuben.
Thank you, Professor Lidenbrock. And please do not worry about anything while you are away. We will look after each other.
Look, Tico, down on the jetty, Axel and Mademoiselle Gräuben have come to see us off.
Hey, look, Axel, look! I've got your yo-yo compass. I'm taking it with me.
Make sure you look after it, Tico. Goodbye, my dears.
Goodbye, Axel. Goodbye.
I hope you get to the center of the earth, uncle.
Goodbye, everyone.
Well, Professor, we're on our way to Iceland, and the moment we arrive, we must get to the Sneffels volcano as soon as we possibly can.
Oh, yes, indeed, we must, Mr. Fogg.
You may have got this far, Willy Fog, but I will make sure you never get to the center of the earth.
Oh, mon Dieu. At times, life on the ocean waves was far from jolly, especially for Tico. And once we arrived in Copenhagen, danger never seemed to be far away. Everything from wild geese to unfriendly old ladies. And even nature itself seemed to be stopping us from getting to the center of the earth. It was a journey we would never forget.